Today I choose to follow you.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, the 15th of March, and here we go with a espresso this morning. If you have your Bibles, turn to 1 Samuel 17. We're going to read a couple of verses. This morning, I want to make a point, and the point is that if you're living true to God and you're living true to yourself, your life becomes a pattern of right choices. Your life becomes, actually, the choices you have to make fall in line with the pattern of your life, and it becomes easier to live a life that is one life, not many faces, many different personalities, many different images and persons that you want to present to different people. When you're living true to yourself, it becomes easy. The choices that you have to make become less because the pattern of your life determines what you're going to do next. But for example, David is a young shepherd boy. He goes to see his brothers who are fighting against the Philistines. There's a giant there who challenges the armies of God. He goes to King Saul and says, I'll fight him. And King Saul says, there's no ways. You can't take on this guy. You're a youth. He's been a soldier from his youth. But David said to Saul, your servant used to keep his father's sheep, and when a lion or bear came and took a lamb out of the flock, I went out after it and struck it and delivered the lamb from its mouth. And when it arose against me, I caught it by the beard and struck and killed it. Your servant has killed both lion and bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine will be like one of them, seeing he has defied the armies of the living God. Moreover, David said, the Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear, he will deliver me from the hand of the Philistine. And Saul said to David, go, and the Lord be with you. You see, here he meets a giant who's not his giant. This giant is busy challenging the army of Israel, the army of God. And because God has walked with him, God has helped him not just fight off a bear and fight off a lion, but once that lion has grabbed a sheep and run off, he chases it and catches it and releases the sheep, saves the sheep's life. And the Lord has helped him. So I almost want to say, he didn't make a choice here. He just lived his life. That which came across his path, he didn't sit there and think, should I or shouldn't I? He just knew, well, the Lord has done this for me. The Lord has done this for me. Here's another challenge. Here's the sheep, the people of God, being threatened by a lion or a bear or a giant. What am I supposed to do? Not even a question. Just do it. Connect the dots that have brought you to this point. Live the life that you've been living, if it's a life that's been led by God. And it makes it easier because it reduces the choices that you have to make. It's just a stepping stone of faith onto the next sure stone that the Lord places before you. Ek raak opgewonde as ek oor hierdie goed praat, want dis so handig om so na die lewe en so na jou lewe, so na God te kyk. En ja, hy gee ons keuses, hy gee ons daagliks keuses. Hy het ons 'n vrye wil, 'n eie wil gegee waar ons moet keuses maak. Maar as ons die Here volg, dan is daar 'n patroon wat besig is om in ons lewens vasgestel te word, vas te lê word. En ons volg net daai patroon en dit haal die besluitneming uit baie van die aspekte van vandag. I just know what I have to stand up and do. I know what the next right thing is. As you continue to train yourself to do the next right thing, when the next right thing presents itself, whether it's dangerous, whether it's a giant, whether it's someone that no one in the whole army and the king wants to face, it's just the next right thing to do. And it becomes easier once you recognize. So in the many options that face you every day, the next right thing becomes obvious because you've been doing the next right thing as a pattern in your life up to now. So just follow the pattern. And that's what it is, to live with integrity before God and before man. It reduces, minimizes the risk in the decision-making process. Isn't that something to think about? Isn't that an awesome challenge? So David wasn't this courageous young man. He was just a man walking in the path that God had prepared for him. And he recognized that path. So it was easy for him to walk in it. The challenge for you and me is the world today can be very noisy, and we can be bombarded with so many different pathways. Know the Word of God, know the God of the Word, and walk the pathway that you recognize He has laid out for you, not one that the devil or the world is trying to lay out for you in order to sidetrack you. Think about it. Come chat to me. Maybe on the wrong path, maybe on the right path, and you can encourage me. Have a cup of coffee with me. I look forward to spending time with you. Have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday.